The Washington Commanders destroyed the Cleveland Browns 34-13 and sit atop the NFC East at a record of 4-1. So we're going to look at how did the Commanders win this game in such a huge fashion, and we're going to give out 3 game balls. Rock with your boy next on Washington Football Maniacs. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Scott again. And look, another W for the Washington Commanders as they sit 4-1 atop of the division. Man, they're looking really, really good, destroying the Cleveland Browns today, 34-13. So we're going to look at the team stats, individual stats. How did the Commanders win in such a huge fashion, man, over a struggling Cleveland Browns team? And we're going to give out 3 game balls tonight. So, again, appreciate you guys. Before we get into tonight's content, that is, if you're not a member of the Washington Football Maniacs, definitely consider becoming a full member of the Washington Football Maniacs. We have a lot of good coverage coming your way. Most games we will be going live. Now today we are not live today, but most games we will be going live. And any news coming out of Washington Commanders land, we will be your go-to source for any Commanders news. So let's get into it, everybody. The Washington Commanders destroyed the Cleveland Browns 34-13, and again are sitting atop all by them lonesome at 4-1. So let's look at some team stats. Now, looking at total yards, the Washington Commanders destroyed the Cleveland Browns. They earned 434 total yards compared to Cleveland's 212. Outpassed the Browns 219 to 108 passing yards. Outrushed them 215 to 104. Now, in first downs, we won the battle of the first down 19-12. We did have 2 turnovers compared to their 1. But it's all good because this team was rolling, man. I mean, this Cleveland Browns team, if you look at them currently, they're 1-4. Deshaun Watson, he's got some, again, some issues on and off the field. We're not going to get into that. But like I said, the Browns are they're not looking too hot in that division in the AFC. But on the other end of the spectrum, I'm telling you, man, Washington is looking like a playoff team. So let's take a look at some individual stats with our beloved Commanders. Because like I said, the Commanders, great game, man. So, look at some stats real quick. Passing stats. Jaden Daniels did his thing as always. Now he did throw a pick. He did get 3 sacks, but overall his quarterback rating is 85.1, so not too shabby. He's passed 14 for 25 for 238 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. So again, really good performance. Not the best, but look, what's the one thing you want to look at from a young quarterback, a rookie quarterback like Jaden Daniels, is the fact that he stayed cool in that situation. You threw a pick, but he stayed focused. He kept his eyes on the prize, man. So, when you look at young quarterbacks, once they throw that pick, man, mentally, what is your next step? Where do they go from there? And that's what you're hoping from a team is where, when you look at Jaden Daniels, man, he is cool, collect, he stays focused. And yes, he threw a pick, but he kept his eyes on the prize again. He kept his foot on the accelerator, man, and kept pushing. So this kid continues to wow people, including myself, and continues to show why he is that franchise quarterback of the future and the present for the Washington Commanders. And we have waited a long time to have a franchise guy, and we have him in Jaden Daniels, man, because, yes, he's a rookie, man, but this kid looks flourish mentally and physically, and he is ready to be that leader and be that franchise QB for us heading into the future. So they're looking at the rushing stats real quick, and the running back room, man, looked good overall. Looking at Jaden Daniels, obviously 11 carries, 82 yards rushing. Austin Eckler pitched in with 6 carries, 67 yards. He continues to show why he's got plenty of gas left in the tank. And, man, he's going to be good compliment to Brian Robinson here in the nation's cap. Jeremy McNichols, again, 7 carries, 44 yards per carry, 1 touchdown, averaging 6.3 yards per carry. Go back to Eckler. He averaged 11 yards per carry, and then Jaden Daniels 7.5. So these guys are, when they touch the ball, they're getting good yardage, man. They're getting great yardage. So looking at Brian Robinson Jr., 7 carries for only 18 yards, but 2 touchdowns. So short yardage was the name of the game for him today. Let's take a look at receiving. Scary Terry McLaurin, man, again shows why he's that true number 1, man. 4 receptions, 112 yards receiving, with his longest catch being 66 yards. Now, he did have 8 targets, and they connected on half of those targets. So you definitely want to see him get a lot more receptions, especially looking at the targets, because he's obviously going to get the most of the targets between him and Zach Ertz, because, we're going to get to Zach Ertz in a minute. But DAndre Brown with that really nice touchdown, man. I mean, a 41-yard touchdown. I mean, 2 receptions, 57 yards. DAndre Brown, the sample size, yeah, you say small, but he continues to play good football. And when they're looking at who is that guy number two, to me, it's between him and Noah Brown. I mean, two guys are really emerged. Now, Zacchaeus has emerged in certain ways, man, but I see him being more active in special teams, man. But from a reception standpoint, I like what I've seen, not only for DeAndre Brown, looking at Austin Eckler, 2 receptions, 30 yards, averaging 15 yards per reception with his longest reception of the day, being 33 yards. So he continues to be that dual threat, really taking a lot of pressure off Brian Robinson Jr. And if you look at the fact that, McNichols has stepped up, the running back room, man, we're going to get into it, man, but look, they might have earned themselves a game ball. All right, we're going to take a little break, man, because people out here speeding outside my house. But getting back into looking at receptions, like what I see overall. I mean, Luke McCaffrey, 3 receptions, 19 yards. So, again, they continue to show that there's a lot of weapons on this Commanders offense. A lot of weapons, man, that, Jaden Daniels has a lot, weapons around him that really just – man, when you look at the situation here in DC, how do I really frame that? Because I'm at a loss of words, man. With the weapons here, now obviously going long term, you want a legitimate number 2 opposite Scary Terry. The Commanders were in the sweepstakes for Devontae Adams. Other names on the list, John Mechie III, Deontay Johnson from the Carolina Panthers. They look to be very active at the trade deadline, acquiring a number 2 receiver opposite Scary Terry. And I think they should definitely do that. Nothing against Noah Brown. I definitely want to see him involved in the offense. DeAndre Brown the same. We have a lot of good receivers, a lot of young, intriguing receivers, in my opinion. And, like I said, the amount of weapons we have in there, DC, man, is definitely going to take a lot of pressure off of Jaden Daniels. And I think that has a lot to do with his success. He doesn't have to shoulder the load. Now, if you look at the stat lines, he takes a lot of responsibility, offensively. But here's the thing. With the weapons that he possesses, man, a lot of pressure is taken off of Jaden Daniels. And I think if you go and you grab that legitimate number 2 and still, you still have these guys at the 3, the 4, and the 5, who can definitely be key contributors in the offense, this team's going to be rolling. To me, they look like a playoff team. So like I said, we're going to get into game balls, and we're going to get into looking at the schedule going forward. But the team looks good, man. They look good. They look better than they have in a long time. And obviously, we saw the factors. New ownership, new coaching staff, new franchise quarterback, a lot of new additions through the draft and free agency. New GM, which leads into the next point. Adam Peters has done a great job grabbing talent at a discount price, finding guys, looking at Austin Eckler. Look what we paid for Austin Eckler. I mean, the guy has shown that he still has some gas left. So with the good comes the bad, man. Some turnovers, obviously one interception from Jaden Daniels, but also a fumble that was lost by Scary Terry. I'm not tripping. It's all good. Scary Terry has been a very consistent guy, man, so I'm not even upset. Austin Eckler didn't he fumbled, but they were able to recover it. So let's see. Let's get into some defensive stats real quick. 3 guys I'm looking at on the defense. 3 guys who really stepped it up today. Number 1, Frankie Louvu. And we're going to talk about the game ball in a minute. But Frankie Louvu, 4 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and a fumble recovery. 2 tackles for loss. This guy continues to show why he's a dog. He's going to be, in my opinion, one of the best players on this defense. A guy coming over from the Carolina Panthers has shown that in the right system with the right coaching staff, this guy's going to eat. He's gonna be the dog of DC, man, on the defensive, on the defense, man. So like I said, love what I see from Frankie Louvu, man. He's continues to show why he's that dog and why he's probably one of the best free agent moves we made this offseason, in my opinion. He compliments Bobby Wagner. No, we brought up Bobby Wagner, 3 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and so he continues to show why he's still got a little bit of gas left. Now, obviously, he's towards the twilight of his career. He's definitely, in my opinion, a Hall of Fame. It's not even close. But this guy continues to show that he's got a little gas left, and he's definitely a good mentor, a good bridge player for the next line of linebackers for the Washington Commanders. This guy, man, he's definitely an example for some of these younger guys. Especially a vet like Frankie Louvu. He's been that professional, that mentor, that veteran on this roster that we desperately needed, especially at the linebacker position, because the last guy who had an impact like that at linebacker was I just had his name. London Fletcher. There you go. London Fletcher was that guy who was the last great leader we had in linebacker. And, Bobby Wagner has definitely carried the torch from London Fletcher, who was one of the better linebackers here in DC, in my opinion. So another guy to look at, he gets a lot of criticism, but Jonathan Allen, 4 tackles, 1 sack. He came through, obviously, with his price tag, him and Deron Payne. You definitely want to see them definitely performing at Pro Bowl level numbers, man. But they continue to ramp it up. They're getting more and more comfortable in this defense, man. And like I said, if you look at the price tag, you definitely want more from both him and Deron Payne, but they're headed in the right direction. So game balls for tonight, guys, or ladies and gentlemen. Game balls tonight. Game ball number 1. I mean, we seem like we give him game balls almost every week, but it has to go to Jaden Daniels. I mean, look at his stat line. Yes, and if you look at his passing stats, 14 for 25, 238 yards, averaging 9.5 yards per passing per completion. But yes, he threw an interception, but it was the way he kind of responded to the interception. He kept on pushing it, man. He kept on playing. He didn't get down on himself. He didn't feel like he had to do too much. He took his L. He moved on. Got a touchdown throw, a really nice throw to DAndre Brown. And you look at his rushing stats, 11 carries for 82 yards. So overall, this guy continues to show that he is that dual threat quarterback that we desperately needed here in DC, that franchise quarterback, that savvy-minded rookie, man, who plays years ahead of where he's at, man. He does not play like a rookie. And I would still say that I would expect some growing pains to a certain degree, but if he's not your favorite for offensive rookie of the year, I don't know what you're drinking on. We need to check your cup because the kid can play. There's a reason why his name is involved in MVP talks. Now, are we getting a little hit ourselves with MVP? A little bit. He's a rookie. Even though overall as a team, we are performing well. We're 4-1 atop of the division. But, look, I think that the right direction is offensive rookie of the year. He's a rookie. I definitely think he's a guy who has MVP written all over him. We got many years from him to get there. So, like I said, he's going to have growing pains. But overall, he has shown that he is very polished and very savvy for a rookie quarterback. Game ball number 2. And this goes to the running back room overall. They came together, man. Brian Robinson Jr. is the lead back. Austin Ekeler is the third down back, the passing down back, the guy who complements Brian Robinson Jr. But overall, as a unit, they perform well. Again, Austin Ekeler, 6 carries for 67 yards. And then you look at his receiving numbers, he had 2 catches for 30 yards. Great day for Austin Ekeler. He continues to show that he's that veteran dog with the roster. Jeremy McNichols, 7 carries, 44 yards, and a touchdown. Brian Robinson Jr., again, not his best showing, but like I said, the running back room, man, they roll with the hot hand at certain times. And 7 carries for 18 yards, but 2 touchdowns, so short yardage. He definitely earned his paycheck today. All right, so game ball number 3, I think is the easy choice. We're looking at Frankie Louvu. Frankie Louvu continues to show why he is that dog at linebacker for the Washington Commanders. 4 tackles, 3 assisted tackles, 2.5 sacks, and a fumble recovery. He, again, when you see the 2 linebackers we have on the defense between him and Bobby Wagner, they continue to be that glue unit for the defense, man. The defense look good. This is another game where, we all know that the defense at times has shown some struggles, and we know there's issues in the secondary, but even though the secondary didn't look bad. D-line is ramping up, and overall as a unit, the defense played better. I mean, they're not, obviously we have ways to go till we're that final unit here in DC with the defense. There are still questions at corner, still questions with the secondary. The D-line, will they play up to their paycheck? Looking at our 2 Pro Bowlers in the middle, and obviously looking forward, will we find those long-term bookends on each side of the D-line? But they have played a lot better. As a unit, the defense has stepped up. Looking at Cleveland, can you really pump your chest up too much? I mean, looking at their numbers real quick, Deshaun Watson, 15 for 28, 125 yards. So, I mean, for the money that he's making and all the issues that surround this guy, you're definitely expecting a lot more than 125 yards passing. Obviously he's got his issues on and off the field. There's rumors of people being upset with him on the line. There's been issues in the locker room, and then obviously him catching up the case. Like I said, I'm not gonna get into that. It's not the platform for that. But like I said, looking at the Browns, they are just a walking dumpster fire. I mean, 7 sacks. So this shows you what kind of pressure that the Commanders defense put on Deshaun Watson, man. And like I said, if you look at some other numbers, I mean, at running back is practically running back committee is between Ford and Foreman at this point because Nick Chubb is not back. Mari Cooper, 4 receptions for 60 yards, but we relatively kept him quiet. I mean, he had 10 targets, and they only connected on 4 of them. So you got to take your hats off, to the defense, man. The defense stepped up. Overall, this is a great team victory in front of the home crowd. And one thing to kind of say before we roll out tonight, guys, if you look at the crowd today, it's been an issue, and it used to be FedEx, but now Northwest Stadium, but it's been an issue for the longest to land over that. Most home games are away games practically because, with DC being a kind of a melting pot of a city, it's hard to get that home field advantage like we used to in the RFK days. But look at the crowds. Look at the crowds, man. I mean, people showed out. People are showing up. And yes, there are people who are either new Commander fans or they left the team and cheered in front of the team and now they're back. We know how it is with bandwagon fans. But for you true Commander fans, for you true Skins fans out there, man, who stayed through all the losing and all the ups and downs and the regime change, You know, it's really refreshing to see not only this team winning, but see people show up. Yes, a lot of people are bandwagon fans, but for you true fans out there, look, man, we'll take it. Like I said, you know, it's really refreshing to see a new owner, Dan Snyder, up out of here, a new GM, a legitimate GM, a legitimate general manager, not a coach trying to play both roles. You know, we have a legitimate GM here, man. Adam Peters is I'm telling you, is cooking like an air fryer. And you look at the coaching staff. You know, I mean, Witt Jr., man, is going to get his defense rolling in the right direction, man. Dan Quinn is giving his defense an identity. So, like I said, it's refreshing to see us take over our stadium. It's refreshing to see us with the home field advantage and telling the Browns fans that, look, you ain't got to go home, but you got to go somewhere else. So, look, it was refreshing to see us take over the stadium. And like I said, I'm very proud to see that. Like I said, I take the bandwagon fans, man. But like I said, it's also refreshing to see a lot of, you know, hardcore fans come out and show some love to the team. Rain or shine, losing or winning, we are steadily becoming that organization that we all dreamed that we would be. Give them some time. We're not there yet, but we are definitely headed in the right direction. So again, guys, get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think of the 3 game balls. Do you agree with my selections? Who would you give your 3 game balls to? So like I said, definitely get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are thinking. But again, a beautiful victory in Landover, Maryland today. Again, the Washington Commanders destroyed the Cleveland Browns 34-13 and sit atop the NFC East with a record of 4-1. So, all right, everybody, we are going to do studs and duds, me and Greg, this week coming up. So definitely look forward to that. Any news, we will definitely let you guys know what's going on with the team, injury-wise or in any other capacity. And again, definitely appreciate you guys, man, rocking with us. Nice. So, hail to the Commanders and peace. See you guys next time.